It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Utah Jazz. Well, for Utah, they've been looking like a well-oiled machine and one playing polished basketball as if they were midway through the season. There's a lot to like about what this group has been able to accomplish early on. Well, the big problem for Dallas last season was their play on the defensive end. They just didn't do enough to slow teams down. What can they do to improve that, Shaq?
Well, first, they got to have a rim protector on the floor at all times. Can't be passive about letting perimeter players get into the teeth of their defense and score. You need a rim protector.
I don't know. They did a poor job of rebounding last year, Shaq, and second worst in the league in the percentage of defensive rebounds grabbed. So I don't know if they can change that. It's going to be difficult.
That'll do it for us. For now, cannot thank you enough for tuning in.
It's a Western Conference battle here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, as the Mavericks look to work the home court advantage. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. After this one game on the road, the Jazz will head back home to Utah. They've come out very strong. Their early season play has been excellent.
Right now for the Jazz, they've started the season with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They had a lot of people with doubt headed into the season, and I tell you what, they are out to prove those folks wrong.
And they're doing it, Greg. I know it's still early, but they've already shown they can compete with the best teams in the league.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Conley out there with Mitchell, and it's Gay in at the 3 spot.
You know, as I watched Derek Favors last season, he continued to develop his offense. He was a big, unpolished athlete coming into the league, had some conditioning problems, but now it seems like he's on track to be a force as a power forward.
So the Utah Jazz able to put the first points up on the board. Redick with it. In the corner, Parsons with it. Just 5 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Gay. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to talk with Quinn Snyder for a moment. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. That's a mantra we're going to hear, I think, a lot from coaches. Defense first.
You know, we always do, but it really rings true with this group. When they get all 5 guys keyed in at the defensive end, I think they make things very difficult for the opponent.
Yeah, and I think every single possession is going to be a battle in this one. That's what I'm expecting anyway.
Now here is Conley. Last game we saw him score 13. Favors with the screen. Mitchell passes to Gobert. Pass to Conley. For 3. Utah the rebound. Gobert dishes to Gay. Gobert the screen. Parsons against Gay. Tries again. And he lays it up and in.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Here's the Magician. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Celtics in Boston.
And I thought the contribution he made by just generating contact, getting to the line was outstanding, guys. I mean, he picked up a lot of points at the stripe.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throw of the night.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
Here's the Magician. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Conley kicks to Mitchell. Outside Favors. He dishes it to Gay. Here's Mitchell, coming off a stellar performance against Toronto. Here's Favors, and it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Utah with the ball. Conley into the lane. Here's Mitchell with the putback. It's good on the putback.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Here's the Magician. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Dallas, no good that time either.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
Mavericks trail by 9. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Redick passes to Porzingis. To the paint. Redick with the bucket.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Jazz leading by 7. Conley left side. Passes it to Favors. And that one is hammered home.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Here's the Magician. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pulls up. He's good with the little jumper in close.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Now Conley. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game.
I'll tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Redick dishes to Parsons. No good with the triple. For Utah, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Mitchell kicks to Conley. Gobert the screen. Conley into the lane. It's deflected. Here's the Magician. Lets it go from deep, and he gets the bucket. The Magician's got 5 points so far.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Conley kicks to Favors. Favors with the screen. Feeds to Mitchell, and stolen by Redick. And now Redick pushing it up. No one back to stop him. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Redick is just an unbelievable three-point shooter. It's not just his volume, it's his pinpoint accuracy. By the end of last season, Redick was 40% from behind the arc for his career.
Shoot two.
And the first one at the line is good. And for Redick, he knew what his NBA career would be like. Way back in 2005, Clark, I recall him saying, I think I'll be a role player like 80% of the players in the league. I don't expect to be a star. I'll just shoot. I'll be a team player.
Yeah, and he's exactly right. He was highly decorated in college, but every scout knew his strength was shooting the basketball, and J.J. knew it as well. And, you know, J.J. Redick has shown steady improvement in his game. He entered the league as a spot shooter off the bench. Last season, averaged over 30 minutes a game for the Clippers. He's come a long way.
Now here's Gay. 26 points for him last game against Toronto.
Boy, was he physical. In that game, just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
Dallas, no good that time either. And Redick has improved every phase of his game over every year, especially in the area of efficiency. Shooting over 47% from the field last year. And Greg, that by far the highest in his career.
Yeah, and in his mid-range jumper last year, just automatic. The turnovers per minute averaged also ridiculously low. It even improved as a defender. And guys, one thing sometimes gets lost. Mike Conley is a proven winner. Remember, you go back in high school, won 3 state titles, and the one season at Ohio State led them to the national title game. So that aspect of what he brings, the intangibles, you're going to be a winner if Mike Conley's on your roster.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And for Mike Conley, growing up, he played on some tremendously talented teams. Guys like Greg Oden, Josh McRoberts, his teammates.
Yeah, Kevin, he never had to really look for his own offense to win games with those kind of players around him. He came into the league more focused on setting up his teammates, and that's what he does well.
Richardson, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Utah. Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks in their last game, a loss to Boston.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. That's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Here's Mitchell. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Shot from 12. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Nowitzki can't get that one to fall. Utah leading. Here's Gay, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. You look at him physically, and Rudy Gay is the complete package at the small forward spot. Nothing holding him back.
Kevin, he comes in at 6'8", has that solid frame, unbelievable athletic ability with the speed to go with that for a player of his height. He is a true talent.
And he makes the first.
And with Rudy Gay, the physical part of the game has never been a problem with him. As great a physical player as any other small forward in the league, his one drawback is he can get in his own head at times and not play to his strengths.
Wesley Matthews checked in for Dallas. Williams comes in for the Magician. Then for the Jazz, Miles checked in for Favors. Bogdanovich comes in for Mitchell. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Mike Conley.
And no doubt a lot of players can get in their own head. Like Gay does at times. He does so much on the floor, it is odd when he vanishes for stretches of the game. On pure talent, he has few peers in the league.
Richardson, no luck.
I tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Gay drives in. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Gay's got 10 points.
Strong start here early. 4 of his first 5 made.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Outside Matthews. Here's Porzingis. A three-pointer is right on target. Porzingis has got his second basket of the game.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Clarkson kicks to Gay. It's blocked. Hope they get it back. Out to the right wing. Here's Bogdanovich. Cans the shot from the wing. Mavericks trail by 5. Now here's Williams. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. 3 for Matthews. And the call will be against Chandler Parsons. That's foul number 2 for him. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Utah leading by 5. And here's Clarkson. He definitely had a good game in their win against the Raptors. They set the screen. Gay can't get it to go.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it. That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
And Utah has possession. Following the 3 from Wesley Matthews, Bogdanovich passes to Gay. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Gay's got 12 in the game.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Williams dishes to Nowitzki. Puts it up from 12 and off the front iron, and in it goes.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Here's Bogdanovich. An 11-point game for him in the win against Toronto. Gay, a screen on Matthews. 4 on the clock. Bogdanovich. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here's Williams. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Pulls up. High post. Again, the Mavericks score. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have. Well, you know, the Mavs made the playoffs last season, but they really had a hard time against the rest of the Western Conference contenders, in part because they struggled defensively. Offensively, they were pretty good, but they didn't quite come up with enough stops when they needed it.
Bogdanovich, no luck.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. It feels like they've gotten every loose ball.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Greg, you talked about what the Mavs did, how they played against the West, 29-23 record against the rest of the conference.
Yeah, but Kevin, it's a little misleading, the win total. I mean, if you look at the Mavs against the teams that they compare themselves to, which are the playoff teams in the West, they were only 10-18 over the course of the season.
Good point. The first free throw is good.
And we all know Utah is a very young team. Last year, only the 76ers were younger. Still very competitive given the age and the lack of experience from this group.
That one drops. He ties it up. Clark, an interesting fact about the Jazz and their age last year. At one point, they didn't even have the oldest starting 5 in the state of Utah. Now think of this. The starting 5 of BYU, Craig and I were just talking about this, had an older average than Utah did.
Yeah, amazing. You look at the ages of Exum and Gobert and Favors. Makes sense that would be the case.
Now here's Williams, following the shot by Rudy Gay. And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. To the middle. Here's Williams. To Porzingis. Takes the 3. Can't get it to go. So Utah will take it the other way. 27 seconds left to play here in the first. The pass to Lyles. To the wing right side. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Mavericks making a switch here. Borea's checked in. And Utah with a change here, too. Trey Burke's checked in for Joe Ingles. Borea with it. The three, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. It's a tie game in Dallas, and the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player, Clark, destined for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, people now talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in NBA history, for sure.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Utah, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Mitchell is out there with Burke, and it's Bogdanovich in at the three slot.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Here's Mitchell, guarded by Borea from 11 feet away. It's hauled in by Porzingis. Porzingis has got his third rebound tonight. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Borea kicks to Matthews. Fires for three. Utah with the rebound. Favors has got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight. Matthews with the steal. Parsons outside. Pass to Porzingis. There's the feed to Borea. Now Redick. He's got five. Here's Porzingis. The shot no good. Great D that time from Favors.
Wes Matthews, a hard-nosed player on the wing. Strong frame, and he really does put it to good use at both ends.
Here's Mitchell, looking for his first basket still in this one. Shot clock at 6. A beautiful reverse layup. Mitchell's got the game tied up here for the Jazz.
That's as good as it gets right there. Beautiful reverse layup in traffic.
Speaking of Matthews' strength, he really gets into you defensively.
Yeah, he wants to make you feel him. Very physical. And offensively, he likes to post up and back down weaker, smaller defenders. You give him that mismatch, he will attack it with vigor.
Here's Porzingis. He's coming off a 28-point game against the Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. He dominated the backboard.
Here's Bogdanovich, following the score by Dallas. Favors can't get it to go.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Dishes it to Redick. He kicks to Borea. Goes up on the high post. Here's Redick. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Burke kicks to Mitchell. Out left to the wing. Here's Favors. It's the outside fadeaway. Favors got 8.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
You know, Clark, the thing you like about Derek Favors is he keeps adding to his game every year. You forget how young he is, too.
That's exactly right. We need a reminder. This guy came into the league very early, right after a year of college. Seems like he's been around forever.
The Magician, he's checked in for J.J. Barea. Utah also making some changes. Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. And Mike Conley subbed in for Burke. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. The Magician's got the lead up to 2 now for the Mavs.
And for Favors and his youth, he has made big strides. And in a few years' time could be one of the more dominant bigs in our league.
Now here's Conley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Now how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
And there's the call on the Magician. That's his first foul.
And guys, with Favors, his development, you know, you forget, sometimes it takes big men a little longer to figure it out. I mean, he's certainly been putting it together here the last few seasons.
Now here's Conley. Favors with the screen. And stolen by Parsons. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Matthews leading the charge. It's stolen by Gobert. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Ashley Matthews picks one up.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
The Jazz have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. The big change last year for the Mavs came when they traded for Rajon Rondo. It looked to be the missing piece for him, Clark, but boy, it just never seemed to come together.
You just don't know. Trades are always risky. You don't know how they're going to work out. And I give credit to ownership for talking to the players to see what they thought about the trade before they actually made the deal.
And things just didn't really work out with Rondo here with the Mavs. Missed a lot of games and at times clashed with that coaching staff. And trying to come up with a highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
Right side, Conley puts up a 3, and he gets it to go. Conley's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Talk about doing a Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on.
Here's the Magician. Passes it to Porzingis. Redick with the 3. Mike Conley with the rebound.
And, you know, they said it was the injury, but you have to suspect the Mavs just shut him down in the playoffs. They took a big swing and missed with Rondo in acquiring him, but I think you have to give them credit for at least taking the risk.
And so it's Dallas with it. It's a 5-point game. And the wide open shot from Redick. Good on the triple. Redick's got 8 points.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Conley kicks to Ingles. He feeds it to Favors. The shot no good, a bit short.
Even in close to the hoop. That's a tough one to drain when the defense is that stifling.
The Magician passes to Matthews. Kicks it to Parsons. Clock at 6. Goes up from the top of the key. Shot is off. Great D that time from Favors. Jazz have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Conley with a wide open look. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
There's the pick. The Magician passes to Redick. Another 3 for Dallas.
And getting going here in the second quarter. His second three-pointer of the game.
The Jazz have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Favors dishes to Mitchell. And he gets it to go.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
And it's the Mavericks with the ball after the basket by Utah. From downtown, they grabbed their own miss. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Utah.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, fellas.
Something else they've done a good job of tonight, right from the start, is penetrating and scoring.
Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Chandler Parsons. Richardson comes in for Wesley Matthews. And it's Williams in for J.J. Redick.
And, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only one playoff. Only one. Count him, one. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Here's the Magician. 7 points in the game. The dish to Williams. Nowitzki right side. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams.
And, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
And the layup's good off the glass. And it's 9 points for Mike Conley.
He is really having a good quarter, a strong quarter, an efficient quarter, doing a lot of positive things out there.
Here's Richardson. Rebound, Utah. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
And Jordan Clarkson is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
There's the pick. Nowitzki a screen. Williams kicks to Richardson. The pass to the Magician. 6 on the shot clock. Poked away. Here's the break. Here's Ingles. Finished off the break. And now a 5-point Jazz lead.
Right now they've got that field goal percentage up in the low 50s.
Putting it together offensively, looking to build some more momentum.
Here's the Magician. 7 points in the game. And Nowitzki wide open. He fires a picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
In the first, he had trouble hitting with any consistency. But here in the second, he's turned it around.
Conley kicks to Ingles. Now here's Gay. D right on him. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game. Now 6 for 10.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
And he gets it to go. 10 points for the Magician.
Boy, they're knocking down the long-range shots. A lot of those same shots they missed earlier in the first quarter. They still find themselves down here, but they're starting to make some headway into that deficit.
And we've seen Dallas just be fantastic since the start of the new millennium. Year in and year out, they seem to always win 50 games. Hit that mark again last season.
For the Jazz, Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Lyles, and Bogdanovich is subbed in for Joe Ingles. Feeds it to Clarkson. Gobert, the screen. Back to Gay. Just 5 to shoot. Off the pick. The Mavericks pull it in. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, I was able to listen in on what Quinn Snyder was going over with his team. He said their plan was to run their offense through Gay. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. A minute 20 left to play in the first half. Here's the Magician, over by Conley. Here's Nowitzki. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Nowitzki's got 6 here in this quarter.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
Here's Bogdanovich, and the layup falls.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't gonna get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Here's the Magician after the basket by Utah. From deep three-point range, cannot hit. Good work defensively by Conley. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Clarkson passes to Gay. Outside Conley, fires from deep. It's hauled in by Richardson. The Mavericks trailing. Here's the Magician, 12 points for him. He dishes it to Williams. And no good, and a chance to take the lead. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's the Jazz leading by just 2. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Rudy Gay has been getting it done. He had 16 points and 2 rebounds. After missing last game, it was clearly evident he wanted to make his mark tonight. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, they forced their way to some easy buckets, aggressively going to the rack, imposing their will. I mean, taking it inside establishes an attitude and toughness that you can't get any other way.
And, Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
Well, if you can't shoot the ball, you might want to stop chucking it up. They keep trying the 3, but it's not going down. They're relying too much on the 3 ball. Way too much. It's good when it's falling for you, but when it's not, you have to try something else.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.